Hello and welcome to HITC Sport, and Christ, is it over yet? Look, that one's on me, alright? I was warned, I was told it was going to be a boring cup final. Why didn't I listen? I could have just done something else. I could have gone to the gym. I could have mowed the lawn. Don't have a garden, barely have a house. Could have got a haircut. But no, we all sat down to watch Chelsea beat Man United, and God, the first half was a surefire cure for insomnia. Look, you all saw the game. Eden Hazard scored a penalty with all the conviction of a 7-year-old girl. But yeah, it went in. Mourinho said his side didn't deserve to lose. Probably not. They had the better of the second half, but why only the second half? Why did they decide to just wake up at half time? It was like this in the Manchester derby, only this time Pogba didn't bail them out. Instead, he proved that even if you cost £90 million, there's still no guarantee that you'll put a header on target from 5 yards out. Jesus Christ, Paul. But yeah, is it going to save Antonio Conte's job? Probably not. Roberto Di Matteo won the Champions League and found himself down the job centre 6 months later. To this day, I think it's hilarious how many world-class managers that club have gone through, and yet the only two that actually got to the Champions League final was the Toad from the Star Wars prequels and a guy who's now being sacked by 2/3 of Birmingham. Anyway, enough on that game because, as I say, it was about as entertaining as eating a bowl of cornflakes. So Manuel Pellegrini is in talks with West Ham, unless he's already signed with them by the time this video has gone out, in which case just turn it off. This would be such a West Ham appointment. Like, sorry West Ham fans, I'm not trying to have a go, but your owners seem to have this idea that your club is this huge, super massive club already. Like, every time they sack someone, they seem to go through the phone book for the biggest names in management. Only to wonder why nobody returns their calls except David Moyes. I am delighted to announce the signing of 23-year-old midfielder Pedro Obiang from Sampdoria. Pedro, welcome DG. Lovely message. Who wouldn't feel at home in a new club waking up to something like that in their mentions? Only one problem. That's Angelo Agbana. Was the fact he was wearing an Italian shirt not a big enough clue? Winston Weremu Reed is 28 today. Happy birthday, Winston. Have a great season. DG. Oh god. Who's the odd one out in this photo? I mean, most of us can spot it. Could he honestly not tell the difference between 3 Winston Reeds and some West Ham reject? The only way this was ever going to be Winston Reed was if he magically grew hair, lost about 2 stone in weight, and just became another human being. Thank Christ he never wished Carlton Cole a happy birthday. He'd probably have used the poster for Norbit. Anyway, where was I going with this? I feel like I had a point, but then it's too fun to take the piss out of David Gold. Right, so Manuel Pellegrini is ending up at West Ham. This charming man, more like this criminally insane man, surely he can do better than working for Gold and Sullivan, no? But listen, if Pellegrini does sign for West Ham, it'll be fantastic. Yes, he might have skin that looks as though it's been ironed daily for the last 10 years, but the man is still only 64 years old. Love how Alan Pardew called him a old a few years ago, despite Pellegrini being just 8 years older than him. Anyway, enough about Pardew. That man is probably applying for jobs in the local bowling alley. Pellegrini is a top manager, similar to Rafa Benitez. Used to manage Real Madrid, has worked in England, where he did really well before chucking his self-respect in the bin to go milk every coin in China, which is the equivalent of Meghan Markle marrying that spotty ginger, a man who, if he wasn't a prince, would be stuck on Tinder every Tuesday night, covered in tears, sweat and 3D-old spunk. Not really sure of the rules in this country. Am I getting beheaded now? But yeah, Rafa Benitez was linked to West Ham. If that man had ended up walking out of Newcastle for the Hammers, I'm pretty sure Mike Ashley would have had to increase his security because Newcastle fans would have wanted to kill him. But don't worry, Mike, I'd say your most pressing concern is probably the lingering threat of diabetes. Let's be honest, Benitez is too good for Newcastle. Not in terms of club size or anything, but in terms of ambition, where they're going under the current ownership, he is. That man deserves to be in the Champions League, alright? And I think Newcastle fans know this. The insecurity is rife amongst that fan base, to the point that even when West Ham are rearing their head, the fans are getting worried. Newcastle are like that balding 50-year-old with a gut the size of Manchester and a penis that only works on Thursdays, who have somehow attracted a Spanish supermodel. So even when the likes of West Ham, the Premier League's Danny DeVito, censor a couple of sneaky texts, the Geordies start panicking like Warwick Davis on a stepladder. But this is a question I'm putting out to ye lads, that hopefully you can settle for me in the comment section below. Who is the better manager, Pellegrini or Benitez? Please let me know in the comments. I have my opinion, i.e. the right one, but I know somebody else who is mentally insane. So please, set him right, do me proud, and I'm sure you guys will. But anyway, moving off West Ham, is this a summer of assistant managers or something? First the Liverpool one goes, then the Man United one goes. Now it looks like Mikel Arteta is leaving Man City to go and become the manager of Arsenal. Is he mental? Did he not see the banners that Arsenal fans have been waving at Wenger? Why does that club not actually go and, alright, maybe not get a manager who's won the Champions League, maybe not even a league title. How about a game of football? Is that too much to ask? A 90-minute game He's never been a manager. He's been stuck as the assistant coach to Guardiola at City. Yeah, he might have picked up a thing or two, but still. And it's not as if he's some inspirational Patrick Vieira or Thierry Henry character who's going to instantly command respect. In his career, he's won 1 FA Cup and a Scottish Premiership. Does that count? And an Inter-Toto Cup, which wasn't even a trophy, it was a certificate. Like, this might be the most pathetic photo I've ever seen in my entire life. Is he really going to inspire Arsenal back into the top 4? Will he? I mean, yes, he might have learned a thing or two of Pep Guardiola, but look at Paul Clement. Remember him? Paul Clement, assistant manager to Carlo Ancelotti, won everything with him. Worked with the likes of Didier Drogba, Ronaldo, Lewandowski. Now where is he? Coaching Paul McShane on the cusp of League One. Apparently Arteta wants Thierry Henry in his backroom staff, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I say the Frenchman would only be delighted to lend a hand. But jeez, can you imagine Henry? He has aspirations to become a football manager, but yet he's taking orders from Roberto Martinez, a man who clearly views defending as an afterthought, and is probably devastated that Aruna Kone isn't Belgian. Soon to be Arteta, a midfielder who had his arse ripped open at Anfield after 20 minutes, while mixing that in with boring us to tears on Sky Sports every Saturday afternoon, and sexually assaulting Jimmy Carragher's thigh. So Sam Allardyce is being sacked from Everton. I think there were certainly more Everton fans who were happy with what we were doing and going in the right direction. I would say most of them didn't want me out. Really? Not sure who he's trying to convince here, probably himself. Remember when he said he was good enough to coach Real Madrid? This was when he was coaching the likes of David Dunn, Keith Andrews and Benjani. Led Real Madrid fans boo Ronaldo whenever he misses a chance. If he was at the Bernabeu, he'd probably have signed Andy Carroll, Winston Reid, and would be getting death threats after the first 20 minutes. But who are ever going to replace him with? Marco Silva's the obvious choice. Watford fans are still complaining about Everton tapping him up. Lads, get over it. You sacked him 6 months ago. Get over it. A bunch of World Cup squads have been announced, and I will touch on them more when I do my World Cup predictions. But yeah, some big shocks. Mario Götze, the man who scored the winner for Germany in the World Cup final, is not going. France have left Lacazette and Rabiot at home, as well as Anthony Martial, a man who seems to have the permanent facial expression of someone who's just discovered a shit in his shoe. To be fair, it's crazy that Martial hasn't made it, and Florian Thauvin has. Not because Thauvin doesn't deserve it, he's been unbelievable for Marseille, while Martial has been moping around Old Trafford like a sulking 12-year-old. But back in 2015, I was hearing all this noise about,
oh, Man United will have to pay 100 billion if this guy wins the Ballon d'Or.
The Ballon d'Or? Lads, Rooney didn't even have a clue who he was. At the same time, Thauvin looked like one of the worst players on the pitch for Newcastle, and looked far more concerned with fixing his hair every 20 seconds than, I don't know, crossing the ball. Cheers for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe and hit that bell button, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.